Hello and welcome to my monthly market update. It is September of 2022, and I'm going to be giving you an update with the housing market and current stats so that you can wade through all those headlines and make sense of everything. So let's dive right into it with this first graph. These are the mortgage rate projections for the rest of this year from these economic entities. So we're going to look at the average of all four of them. So at the end of the day, for the rest of this year, they're estimating that interest rates are going to hover around 5.4%, which is actually lower than where we're at today. I just spoke with a lender today in September, and they're hovering at the low 6% right now. So they are projected to continue to decrease the rest of this year and then on into 2023. As you can see, by quarter three of next year, they're looking at in the 4.8% range. So great news, if you're considering making a move or a purchase in the next year, interest rates are supposed to be leveling out and decreasing a little bit. So let's talk about appreciation slowing versus depreciation. There's a lot of headlines out there talking about, price reductions and prices are tanking and all of that. And these are the facts and these are the stats. So what this graph shows us is the year over year home price change. So again, for every single month so far, and they have data up to July of this year, it compares what the home prices were that year before. So today in July of 2022, we're up 15.8% compared to last July 2021. So as you can see, home prices are still well over double digits in appreciation in the green, but its appreciation is slowing, not that home price values are dropping. So we aren't to, the depreciation until, again, way down here. So when you see those headlines or when people ask you, about what's going on, something to explain and how I'm, getting this across to people who are confused about this is that what's happening a lot that I'm seeing is that, sellers have gotten used to this type of appreciation, increase. And 6 months ago, sellers were even a year ago, were pricing their home just above the market. And by the time, they came active on the market, prices caught up with them overpricing a little bit. And that list price ended up becoming the base level price for buyers to start bidding on, right? Whereas now, since appreciation is slowing down, all those sellers in the last, 4 to 6 months that priced that way, they priced up here and then appreciation started to slow down. So they got left behind, which is where you're seeing those price drops happen. So it's not that actual values are going down. It's just that appreciation is slowing. So I hope that helps clarify what's going on in the current market. Now, these are the forecasts for appreciation for the rest of this year specifically. So something I want you guys to take a look at is, so in January of this year, right when the year started, these entities estimated very conservatively that, they thought that appreciation was going to slow even more. And they thought that, we were going to be in a more, average appreciation type year. But turns out, as of the latest data, end of Q3, now these entities are forecasting double digits in most cases for the rest of this year. So still, very healthy market in the sense of, home prices. So CoreLogic stated here that the annual home price growth slowed for the third consecutive month in July, but remained elevated at 15.8%, which 2 graphs ago we showed you. As 30-year fixed rate mortgages neared 6% this summer, some prospective homebuyers pulled back, helping ease our overheated and unsustainable price growth, which definitely the situation this last year was unsustainable. So looking ahead, CoreLogic expects to see a more balanced housing market with year-over-year appreciation slowing to 3.8% by July of 2023. So still an appreciation. Home prices are still projected to go up, just at a more normal level, throughout the next couple of years. So this graph I thought was super interesting, and it helps explain why prices are still continuing to go up, even though things are slowing down just a little bit. Inventory has a huge impact on pricing. So what this graph is showing is it compares today's inventory level compared to the previous 3 years. So today we have 26.3% more inventory on the market than we did this same week in September last year. But if you look at right in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, we were, today we're about 5.4% less inventory on the market compared to, mid-pandemic. And then the thing that's I think really striking that we need to understand is that, so before the pandemic, when the world was quote unquote in normal position, so in September of 2019, today we're sitting at 42.2% less inventory than pre-pandemic levels. So we are still in an inventory shortage by far, which again impacts home prices and is keeping that supply and demand level separated. So, high demand, low supply, it's going to keep home prices up. Now, all of that combined kind of helps us understand affordability. And this is super important, obviously, and impacts, all of us at home. So when the National Association of Realtors, they put out this information on a monthly basis. And what they do is they take a look at affordability, and we're comparing it all the way back to the 90s. And how they come up with this is they take a look at home prices, mortgage rates, and the average household income. So all of those things combined gives us the stats here and tells us what affordability looks like. So a couple things to note. Obviously, after the housing crisis of 2008, you'll see affordability was at its highest. A lot of distressed homes on the market, and people could get really great deals right in the middle of that downturn. So, but in general, we've been in the green and above that 100% mark, which, looking at that dotted line, what that 100% means is that 100% of the mortgage payments that are out there, it means that 100% of the households can afford those mortgage payments. So today, even though, yes, affordability has dropped drastically, we're still not at apocalyptic, alarming in the red. We're just under that 100% affordability level. So again, this can create a huge headline with affordability tanking, but it's not, in comparison to most people, with the median home price and the median income, most people can afford their mortgage payments at this point in time. National Association of Realtors also gave us an update on the average monthly mortgage payment. So compared to 1 year ago, the monthly mortgage payment rose to $1,944 per month on average from $1,265. So that's over 50% increase, which, again, obviously affordability is a big issue right now. So this graph just shows you all the way back to April of 2020 what they were, and they've almost doubled in the last 2.5 years. But something that I like to remind people of is that your decision to make a move has so much more to do with your individual situation, and is it a good time for you and what your financial picture looks like, more than what headlines say, more than what's going on at a macro level, which is why it's so important to be with trusted advisors. Obviously, me as your real estate agent, lenders, financial planners, all of those people, accountants, are super important to have in your corner. And if you don't have really excellent people like that, reach out to me. I'm a great resource for people like that. But something to consider is, if you are considering making a purchase or a move, but you're concerned about what the headlines are saying, and that affordability is going down, something that is important to remember is that housing, historically speaking, is always a great investment. And the sooner you get into it, or the sooner that you make those moves, the sooner you can start benefiting from appreciation. And as we saw at the beginning of this, home prices are expected to continue to rise. So, let's say it's a good time for you to make that move, and you just, need some help kind of figuring out and structuring it for your situation. Remember, you can't change the price of the home that you purchase, but you can always do a refinance down the road if that's something, that ends up happening. So just remember that's, you date the rate and, marry the mortgage or marry the house. So I'll leave you with this. A chief economist at Zonda, Ali Wolf, says we are in a place where strategy discussions and planning are critically important to make sure we can thrive during these challenging times. So you've got to stay nimble. We need to stay informed, which is why I'm bringing you this information. And so just remember that housing is traditionally one of the first sectors to slow as the economy shifts, as we're noticing and experiencing right now, but it's also one of the first to rebound. So don't fret if, you felt like you bought high and, you see things settling down, because the housing market will be the first to recover. So again, as long as you make or made a smart financial decision for yourself in that moment, stay in it. Just don't sell, if and when the prices go down. So if you need some more help or you want more clarification and specific numbers for your situation, feel free to reach out anytime. Hope this was helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing and talking to you very soon.